Have you ever stood before the profound and aching silence of the man you love and wondered if it meant the end of everything? What if that very silence was not an empty void, but the most sacred and misunderstood a language of his soul? We often mistake his quiet retreat for abandonment, a cold dismissal of the fiery connection you know exists. But I invite you to consider a radically different possibility. One where his silence is not a wall built to keep you out, but a sanctuary he's desperately trying to build around the chaos he feels within and between you. This is not a story of a man running from love, but of a soul undergoing a silent, sacred apocalypse, where every brick of his old identity must fall so that something new, something truly worthy of you, can be born. He isn't lost in the silence. He is listening for a new frequency, learning a new way of being that his logical mind cannot yet articulate. And the most beautiful part? Your own journey toward wholeness is the very compass guiding him through the dark. This is the untold story of his silent yearning, and understanding it will change everything you thought you knew about your connection. You feel it, don't you? That aching void where his voice should be. That silence that screams louder than any word ever could. Your mind, in its beautiful human need to make sense of things, weaves stories of rejection, of fear, of another. It's the easiest conclusion to draw. But what if I told you that the very thing causing you the most pain, his profound, echoing silence, is not a weapon of abandonment, but a flawed, sacred, and desperately loving act of protection? Let's pull back the veil on this mystery together. Imagine for a moment not a man, but a force of nature. Think of the oldest, deepest oak tree in a forest. Its purpose isn't to run from the storm. Its purpose is to stand, to root, to hold the ground. It absorbs the lightning strike so the delicate saplings and the vibrant undergrowth might have a chance. It doesn't do this with fanfare or announcement. It simply does it. It is its nature. This beautiful soul is the unconscious, archetypal imperative of your divine masculine. He is not the storm. He is the anchor in the storm. And your connection, this glorious, terrifying, awakening tidal wave of a twin flame journey, is the greatest storm his soul has ever encountered. His silence isn't a wall he's built to keep you out. It's an energy field he's desperately trying to generate around the chaos he feels swirling between you. He senses it all. Your triggered fears, his own inadequacies, the sheer, dizzying voltage of a spiritual awakening that feels like touching a live wire. His primal, soul-level programming, that core coding of the masculine to provide, protect, and create a safe container, kicks into a catastrophic overdrive. He doesn't see a problem to solve with you. He sees a threat to protect you from. And the threat, ironically, includes the unprocessed parts of himself. So his psyche does the only thing it knows. It attempts to pull every ounce of that dissonant, chaotic, painful energy into his own orbit. He draws it into his own energetic field like a cosmic vacuum cleaner, thinking on a level far deeper than conscious thought. If I can just contain this, if I can just hold it all within myself and figure it out, then I can present her with a peaceful, stable, worthy foundation. I can fix this before I allow myself to truly come to her. He isn't running from the connection. He's trying to single-handedly clean the entire house before he invites you in for the party. Except the house is the shared, messy, beautiful landscape of your souls. And the cleaning is a task meant for two. He sits in the deafening silence of this self-created quarantine, yearning for you with a ferocity that would shake the heavens down, all while believing that to reach for you now in his unfinished state would be to fail you utterly. He mistakes his solitary endurance for strength and his silence for stoicism. He is, in truth, a man drowning in the very ocean he's trying to part for you. And you know what the tragic, beautiful irony is? In doing this, he is performing the ultimate act of love his unawakened self can conceive of. It's misguided. It's infuriating. It's about as effective as using a teacup to bail out the Titanic. But the intent is sacred. He is trying to be your oak tree in the hurricane, absorbing the lightning, not realizing that the true miracle isn't in weathering the storm alone, but in learning to dance together in the rain. His silence is the white noise of a soul trying to process a symphony of transformation on a broken radio. He isn't refusing to communicate. He is, in his way, communicating the only thing he honestly can. I am in the fire. I am trying to become. Wait for me. So the next time you feel that silence stretching between you, I want you to try a different thought. Don't think he is ignoring me. Instead, whisper to your own heart, he is working. He is in the lab of his own soul, trying to alchemize our pain into something worthy of us. Your unwavering light isn't for his comfort, it's his beacon. It guides him through the very dark night he insisted on walking alone. And if you think this level of silent internal processing is profound, wait until you understand what happens when the one thing he built his entire identity on, his ability to fix things, completely and utterly shatters. Let's talk about the man you know, or the man you thought you knew. The one with the answers. The one who reads the manual before he plugs the thing in. The one who sees a problem and his entire being lights up with a quiet, confident, I can handle this. It's who he is. It's how he moves through the world. It's the very bedrock of his identity. He is a master architect in a world of Lego sets. And then he meets you. This connection, this glorious, terrifying, soul-shaking earthquake of a twin flame bond, doesn't just present a problem he can't solve. It systematically and with almost divine precision annihilates the very concept of problem solving. It's like handing a master watchmaker a cloud and saying, "Fix this." His tools are useless. His blueprints dissolve in the rain. His logic, that trusted compass that has guided him his entire life, spins wildly, pointing nowhere and everywhere at once. His silence, then. It's not just quiet. It is the deafening internal sound of a paradigm shattering. Imagine his psyche as a magnificent, intricate cathedral built over a lifetime. It has flying buttresses of logic, stained glass windows of achievement, an altar of capability. It is a monument to doing. Then the twin flame connection doesn't just rumble through like an earthquake. It changes the fundamental laws of physics within the cathedral itself. The stones no longer have weight. The glass refuses to break in a predictable way. The very ground beneath it is no longer ground, but water. He is standing in the center of his own soul's most sacred building, watching the architecture of his identity vaporize before his eyes. And what do you do when the roof of your own mind is falling in? You don't call out, you don't speak. You stand in awestruck, terrified, reverent silence at the power of the apocalypse unfolding within you. He is not giving you the silent treatment. He is undergoing a silent treatment of his own ego. And the process is utterly, completely, and necessarily dismantling. This is the great cosmic joke and the great cosmic initiation. To have the one thing his soul yearns for most, you, the embodiment of his other half, his home, he must first surrender the very vehicle he believed would carry him to you, his egoic, problem-solving self. He must lay down his tools and admit he doesn't know how to build this. He must stop doing and learn simply how to be. And for a man who has built his worth on doing, being feels like absolute nothingness. It feels like failure. It feels like death. So he goes quiet. He retreats into the silent, rubble-strewn landscape of his own deconstruction. He yearns for you with a ferocity that is physically painful, but to reach for you from this place of perceived ruin feels like an insult. He believes he must first rebuild the cathedral, make it even more magnificent than before, to be worthy of inviting you in. He doesn't understand yet that the old cathedral had to fall, that the new connection cannot be housed in an old structure, that what is being born between you isn't a building at all, but a living, breathing, wild ecosystem. It doesn't need an architect. It needs a gardener, a partner, a witness. His silence is the most honest conversation he is capable of having. It is him saying, without words, I am lost. I am undone. The man you knew is gone, and I do not yet know who is emerging from the ashes. Please, have faith in the phoenix you cannot yet see. He is learning the hardest lesson of his life, that true strength is not found in the unwavering hand, but in the courage to let that hand tremble. That real power isn't in having the answers, but in having the humility to stand in the breathtaking, beautiful mystery of not knowing. He is, in the deepest possible way, being reborn. And the most powerful thing you can do is to hold the space for that rebirth. Not to try and hand him new blueprints, but to whisper to his soul that the open sky is a far more beautiful ceiling than any cathedral ever could be. This journey of his, this silent, apocalyptically beautiful undoing, is actually the very thing that prepares him for a union stronger than any his old self could have ever engineered. And if you think the transformation on his side is profound, wait until you realize how your own sacred stillness is the very catalyst that guides this whole delicate, miraculous process. So here we are, you and I, standing at the edge of understanding, looking out over the silent landscape of his journey. It's easy to see only the emptiness, the quiet, the space where words should be. But I want you to shift your perception just for a moment. Don't look at what's missing. Feel what is being woven in that stillness. This silence between you is not a void. It is the most fertile ground of transformation you will ever know. It is the hushed auditorium where the soul of your divine masculine is rehearsing a symphony so profound, so earth-shatteringly new, that he cannot yet play a single note for you. To ask for a melody now would be to interrupt the composer at his most sacred work. His every fiber is concentrated on listening to a divine score, one that requires the dismantling of his old instruments to make way for the new. You have to understand, his return to you will not be a simple walking back. It will be a resurrection. He is not off finding himself. He is in the laborious, glorious, and terrifying process of building a self that can truly, fully, and honorably hold the magnitude of what you are together. He is learning the language of his own soul, and that fluency requires a vow of silence until he can speak not from habit, but from truth. And your role in all of this, it is the most important, most powerful one of all. It is not to wait. Oh, beautiful soul, it is so much more than waiting. It is to become the very frequency of home. Your inner work, your healing, your joy, your radical acceptance of your own divine worth does not just serve you. It transmits a silent, cosmic homing signal straight to his heart. Your peace becomes the northern star his fractured spirit navigates by. Your unconditional love for self creates a gravitational pull so authentic, so magnetic, that it naturally draws what is in alignment toward it. You are not waiting for him to finish. You are living the very reality he is striving toward, making the path luminous and clear. This is the ultimate secret they don't tell you. The reunion you yearn for begins not when he speaks, but when you realize you no longer need his words to feel complete. It ignites in the sacred space where your wholeness meets his becoming. The harmony you will one day create together is born first in the solo of your own contentment. Trust the silence. It is not your enemy. It is the cocoon. It is the crucible. It is the silent, dark earth that must hold the seed before it can ever break toward the sun. He is not lost to you. He is answering a call that originated in your shared soul long before either of you took a breath. And every step you take toward your own light makes that call easier for him to hear. The journey is not about finding a missing piece. It is about two complete universes deciding to orbit in a dance that creates a new kind of gravity. You are already whole. He is learning he is too, and that realization, when it finally dawns in him, will be the only sunrise that truly matters. And you know what? The most fascinating part of this entire dance is how your own inner stillness doesn't just wait for his. It actively teaches it. But that is a conversation for another time.